What's up, everybody? Hope you had a good day. This is the 8 to 5 Trader, and this is my first video in explaining my trades for the day. This is my simulator account that I've been trading on for quite a while. I went live at one point, and that didn't work out too well, so I'm back in the simulator. But today I made two trades. I made a trade on Cores and I made on CRM, and I found these two stocks in the chat room that I trade in, which is BearbullTraders.com. I'll link that in the description. But these are the two trades that I made, and I'm going to show you guys what I did. But today I came out at 247. At the commissions, it came out to about 200, and I'm trading with about 3,500 bucks in equity, and right now I'm sitting at 22,000 in buying power. So that's a 6-to-1 margin, and this is based on the SureTrader commissions. But let's go ahead and see what we got. Now, Cores gap down in the pre-market. I think they had some bad news or whatever, but essentially my game plan going in, seeing this price action in the pre-market, was to short it. Now, what I primarily short on is I normally use the VWAP, which I have represented as this gold line, and then the 9 right here is the non-moving average, this purple line. The 20 is the blue. The 20 is the blue line, and the 50 is the green line, and also the 200 is the white line. And the same thing for the 1-minute chart. And I also use the 5-minute chart. So what I said that open, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch and see what this does, and I'm going to short it if I get the opportunity. So what we got here, we got a squeeze right here at opening, and I was like, okay, let me just wait and see what's going on. And also at the same time, I was trading CRM, but we'll get to that in a second. But the price action came back down, and I was like, okay. So the price action came down, and I decided to short right here for 200 shares. Now, normally I will wait till after the first 5 minutes, but I was like, okay, we made lower highs and lower lows, and I was like, okay, so maybe this is really going to come down. We're going to break the pre-market low. So what we ended up doing, of course, we got the move down. Now my stop loss naturally would have been above, give or take, the 20 in VWAP, but my overall strategy was just to ride this momentum down, because what I like to do is I like to watch the 1-minute chart. As you guys can see, it cleanly went down the 1-minute chart following this 9 moving average, and that's what I typically like to do. These are the trades that I like to find. And in this case right here, I kind of covered a bit too early, and I covered 50% of my position, which would knocked off 100 off of the 200. And what happened here, we got a little squeeze right here, which is normal because you guys see right here, squeeze, 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 squeeze. But what happened is I thought this right here was happening fairly early because we already squeezed hard here, and I was like, oh man, we're about to squeeze again really hard because we just blew through these two moving averages right here. So that kind of spooked me a little bit. So I was like, let me just take a little bit of profit. So I took half of it off, and I kept the rest of my position. So we eventually broke down again. We started moving down, and here I took another 50% off, so that left me with 50 shares. Then we broke down some more, and I took off another 50%, so that left me with 25 shares. And we broke down even harder, and then knocked it down to 13 shares. And then eventually we squeezed up between the 9 and the 20, and I decided to go ahead and cover the rest of my position. As you guys can see, we kind of went back up. Now over here on the 5-minute, same thing happened. As you guys can see, we kept making lower highs, lower lows. We started to struggle a little bit. Then we got a really big breakdown right here. But what spooked me again was right here was that we got a double, almost like a double bottom. And right here you can see it on the 1 minute. That, again, that kind of spooked me. So that made me, I guess, impulsively cover half of that position. And this level right here that I find, and the way I find these levels, basically I look on the daily chart and I find pre-existing spots where the price action hit at some point, like right here we hit. There's a good chance that price action could hit that again, so that's where I get these levels from. So as you guys can see, it kind of sat right here at 61 a little bit, and then we finally got that breakdown, and that netted me about, let's see, I think I got about, yeah, I got 162 bucks out of that trade. So that was a really good trade. Now for CRM was another good trade. Again, I found this in the chat room that I was in. So CRM actually gapped up on Good News, I think. No, yeah, on Good News. This is Salesforce. They gapped up on Good News, and the price action started to come down a little bit in the pre-market. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this and see what it does. And sure enough, at the open, we got a big push down right here. And impulsively, I was like, I really want to short this, but I'm not going to short it. I'm going to wait And luckily, you see the price action actually came back up to where it eventually found resistance right here after the 9. It found resistance and it didn't break, and it actually closed below this 9 and above VWAP. Now, normally what would happen with VWAP, if you get a close below VWAP, a good push down, there's a good chance that the price action is going to keep pushing down. But in this instance, we actually closed above VWAP, but it broke the opening range right here. So the fact that we closed in between these two, I was kind of hesitant. I was like, let me just see what it does, because I normally short after the first 5 minutes. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 8th candle. So I really waited to make sure that what I was getting into, I was really making sure that, this was really had a good chance of going down. But you see, we never really broke the 20 moving average right here on the 1 minute. But as you can see on cores right here, it's the same thing. We broke it here, but it didn't really hold, and it kind of came back down. Eventually, when it decided to reverse, is when it decided to go ahead and keep pushing up. So we got the move down. I shorted 50 shares right here. We got the move down, and just like the cores, I got kind of scared right here. I was like, oh man, what's gonna happen? It was kind of struggling to make a new low right here. So again, I just decided to stick to my strategy. Don't get out of it till we break this 9. So it kept breaking down, but I did cover half of my position here. So 50% I took off, so that left me with 25 shares. It kept coming down. We kept coming down. Eventually, we broke the 20 right here. And just like previously right here, it broke, but it didn't really, on cores, it broke, but it didn't really hold. And I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get out because we already moved down so much. But my ultimate target was the 200 right here. But I was like, maybe it's going to, maybe it's going to keep going up because, it bounced off the 9 right here, or it hit the ceiling and it kept going down. But I eventually went ahead and got out and closed out. And that netted me $84. So, I mean, it was still a good trade, but, I wish I kind of held it and just with such a good entry. I had a really good entry. This was 2 points away from my entry. And I guess I could have held it for maybe a little bit more longer just to see what it would do. And eventually it ended up breaking down a lot lower. And eventually it did finally squeeze up back to VWAP at some point. But that got me $247 realized. Of course, again, this is in my simulator account, and I came out $200, $44 in commissions, and that was 9 tickets. So I didn't take big share sizes. That's a big problem that I've been trying to deal with lately, is taking big share sizes, but I did really well on this. And DKS was another one that I was looking at. I saw DKS at 37, but I had already made my $200 on my trades, and I was like, I don't want to lose it. I'm trying to teach myself not to get greedy. And I saw DKS right here. Right here is where I saw DKS. It formed an ABCD pattern, or kind of, yeah. Well, it kind of went, I guess, A, B, C, and D, and it just kept going up. But right here is when I saw DKS. I really saw it right here. I could have gotten in right here, but I was like, I really want to see if it's going to go above VWAP. And then it went up, and then I was like, I'm just going to look at this for research purposes. And it kept going up, and as you guys can see, it went about, 37. It went a point above his and some above his entry. I mean, above from that possible entry. So that was another potential trade that I could have taken, but like I said, I didn't take it. And I did try to attempt to trade it here, but I was already tied up in the other 2 trades, so I just left it alone. But that is what I did. But yeah, that's my trades for today. So I'm going to be posting trades like this. I'm going to try to do it every day to get my entries, so you guys can actually see my entries on the DOS platform rather than me just doing screenshots. You guys can see that I actually made these trades. But again, this is in my simulator account, so this is not real money. So I'm learning. This is the easiest. Well, not the easiest. This is the best you're going to get without going, live and risking your money. And I have gone live and I've lost money. So even though the emotions are different, putting your real money on the line, this is the closest that you can get without putting your real money on the line. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Like I said, I'm trying to put one out every day. So subscribe and let's get this gravy train going. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.